On a very wet Saturday, the Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust went to the Isle of Man to unveil their 44th marker at the former Andreas airfield. Mrs. Dorothy Sale, Captain and Chairman of Andreas Parish Commissioners, initiated the proceedings.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to here. And I'd like to welcome Mr. Bannerman, who has come here from the he's from the Airfield of Britain Commission
Conservation Trust
to commemorate the important role that Andreas Airfield held during the war. I think we all take it for granted that Andreas has got an airfield, but we don't always think of the important part it played during the war. So I'd like to, Mr. Bannerman will explain everything to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, first of all, for letting us install this stone here. It's very much appreciated. I won't hold you long for obvious reasons, but just to give you a very quick background on Andreas Airfield's history and why this is all so important. This was one of a few wartime airfields erected during World War II. And the airfield first opened in a military context in September 1941. It was a mixed purpose type of airfield for, broadly speaking, fighters and bombers. It had a mixture of hangarage and aircraft dispersal pens, earth bankings created. A lot of the hangars and other facilities have now gone, although the basic airfield infrastructure is still very much in place. In the early days of Andreas's existence, it was used by several fighter squadrons, some of which moved over from Derby, where we've just unveiled our last stone. There was notable Australian presence here as well. And sadly, as is all too evident in the nearby churchyard, 23 graves are there commemorating people who lost their lives while serving from here, including one or two people from the other side of the world. After the fighters left in the summer of 1942, there was a bit of a lull in activity. In fact, at one point, this airfield went onto a care and maintenance basis, although it was still busy because there was a detachment of number 275 Squadron, which was an air sea rescue unit that performed very good service until leaving the spring of 1944. However, a year or so before that, number 11 Air Gunner School formed here and provided enormously important training for air gunners and firing practice over the Irish Sea. And this airfield and the unit based there carried on very quietly but most effectively until this unit, the gunnery school, left in September 1946, just along the road to Derby. After that, things pretty much quietened down, and as RAF Fighter Command's records show in the National Archives in London, Andreas finally closed in a military capacity at the beginning of 1947. After that, there was a very gradual de-requisitioning of the airfield. So, for example, where the school playing fields are, they used to be a hutted area for accommodation and so on. It's still fairly tangible here and there. But now, as we all know, Andreas is still used for flying today, but in a limited capacity. So although it's still an active airfield, it is an unlicensed one. It's not fully fledged. But the gliding club that's based there is providing very good work. We incidentally have a web link with the club. That's one of our oldest web links. So we're already very much known in the area for some years now, since the charity came into being in 2006. But just finally, on a very general note, places like Andreas Airfield, indeed all of Britain's airfields, are incredibly important beyond all belief. We just can't afford to lose these places. After all they've done, not just for Britain but the entire world, both militarily and socially, Andreas has made a really positive contribution to this village, the Isle of Man, and further afield. Even, it could easily be argued, to the other end of the world, Australia, New Zealand, you name it. And that these places are just incredibly important, and after all they've done for this country and the entire world, they just need a bit of help and support, one way and another. That it's the least they deserve, not just the airfield itself, but all the personnel who served here, and not least the 23 people who sadly lost their lives while serving from here. So please just remember these places and try and just do all you can to just honour them in any way possible. Now, just after we unveil the memorial, which incidentally will be our 44th stone across the UK that this charity's unveiled, we're intending to erect hundreds more over years to come. We then, if the Reverend would be so kind, if he would like to just give a quick dedication, whatever he would like to do. And again, just thank you all so much for attending, and we wish you well, and we hope this stone brings you good fortune one way and another. So therefore, without any further to do, we're very happy to be able to unveiling this memorial to yet another of Britain's top physical assets. In this case, the one and only Andreas Airfield. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you very much to Mr. Bannerman and his committee for coming along in such terrible weather and explaining how important our airfield is. And we'll all appreciate in future when we're thinking about the airfield, we'll be thinking of it in a different way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, just we might need to come this end. Just the description obviously is reading this way. Okay. You might want to just come around this end, everybody. Just so it's just we've deliberately angled it so that you're looking onto the village hall, which of course used to be part of the airfield. So just we'll
So
just.
do you want to say something?
Yes, we'll just unveil and then we'll have a dedication. Yes, okay. Just whatever you'd like to say. Okay, just whenever you'd like to. Okay, just careful, just pulling it up. Yeah, just so they're wet. You might want to pull up the top there. Can I just give you that umbrella, please? Okay, thank you. Thanks. So thanks. Just the weather. Yes, I know. Yeah, it's just it's damp. And we're nearly there. There you go.
I dedicate this in memory of all those who served at the airfield, especially those who gave their lives.
Amen. Thank you very much. Now, just if you're very welcome to take photographs or any questions you need to ask about the airfield or any help we can give the community or anything, just feel free. That goes without saying. We'll get some photographs. Just